Alright folks, my name is Freyn and today I have some clips from the Type-60 SPRG. This is a Japanese 6.7 tank destroyer. It's got some light tank functionality like the scouting, and it's got some slightly unusual firepower, which I'll talk a bit more about in a moment. For this first battle though, I am on Berlin and I've chosen to come to the sea point. Not one that I particularly like, but I've found the best success for this tank in a sort of close range ambush style, and the sea point is definitely the best for that. So take an opening shot at this AMX-30, get his barrel, but before I can fire off my second round I get a lovely friendly tap in the back from this M60, throwing my round into a wall. Now, not only does that mean I didn't manage to kill the AMX-30 before he got away, but I also wasted another round, and this tank only comes with 10. They can be either Hesh or Heat, but there's only 10 of them. And, well, yeah, that's going to be kind of restrictive and not something you want to be wasting firing at a random patch of brickwork. Now, making the choice to get as far away from the M60 as I can, I've moved off into the next street. Peek out, didn't know this Puma was there, but fortunately didn't manage to get one shot by him. Take him out with a bit of return fire, and now we're going to move up and get into one of those ambush spots I've been hunting for. The AMX-30 will now be long since repaired. I would have liked to pursue him a bit earlier, but I wanted to get as far from that M60 as I could at that point. So we're just coming in and seeing if I can find him. There he goes! First shot into the wall. Fortunately managed to survive the return fire. I've been very lucky already this game. I'm far off my second round, taking him out. Now, the aiming for this tank can be a bit awkward if you haven't played it a lot, which I hadn't at this point. But essentially, your scope is down the middle of your two barrels, so one barrel will fire from the left of your scope and one from the right, and it takes some getting used to. The two barrels also fire independently. There are a different button for each one, so primary fire for me fires the right barrel and secondary fire fires the left one, so in that instance when I pressed the fire button I shot straight into the wall. Had I pressed the secondary fire it would have come out around the corner and safely hit him. You'll probably see a lot more of that kind of behaviour as the video goes on. Nothing much happens for a little bit here, just slowly moving in, trying to spot my team around C. So we'll skip ahead a little bit. And we've taken the cap. I've refilled my guns a bit. I want to make sure I have as much ammo as I can at all times, really. And I'm just trying to, again, find somewhere to ambush, maybe see if I can do some scouting. Noticed an AMX-30 moving, so there goes the first round. Knock him out with a nice shot to the side. This is the good Hesh on this vehicle. It's the one with the HE component to it. Causes a good chunk of damage and can be quite relied on really to get the job done. This ARL-44 unfortunately looking in my direction, and by the time he turned away he was already dead to someone else. So we'll move on again. There won't always be this many cuts throughout the video, but it is a tank which you certainly can't go balls to the wall with. So there will be a lot of quieter moments where I'm just scouting that'll end up getting cut out. Unfortunately here, this RU-251 managed to make it onto sea while I was occupied elsewhere doing that scouting, and he seems to have noticed me around the corner, so I'm just biding my time and just trying to keep him in view. We can both kill each other in one shot if we hit, and that's not really very good for me because he's currently got the advantage. They own all the caps. We need to get a cap if we want to win. Spoiler alert, we don't. He's got the turret and he's got the better mobility. Thankfully he managed to miss his shot though. Now he does have the advantage here. He could wait for me, but he decided to peek and I managed to squeeze the shot off. I couldn't really rotate the turret very quickly there. If you notice, I've not got FPE yet because I'm near stock at this point. I think I've only got parts right now, so it doesn't turned the fastest, and I had to just give a quick tap to the D key and put that extra swivel on the tank. It might not have paid off. I might have ended up shooting the wall due to oversteer, but thankfully managed to land the shot just where it was needed. Now I'm extremely soft. I have no armor at all. Any aircraft, artillery will all annihilate me, or that whirlwind taking shots across the map. And I've already decided at this stage this game is lost, so there's no point sitting on the cap and drawing attention to myself. Just driving away, checking there's nothing behind me, and thankfully this guy did not see me, because I very almost didn't notice him myself. That's kill number 5 and the end of the game really, so we'll move on to battle number 2, which is also on Berlin. Now this time there was absolutely no resistance at sea. We've pushed straight through, and so I'm pointing my attention over towards the A and the B points. Just see a T-44 down below the ridge, and there you can see the effect of, as I said, the good Hesh. I hit his turret roof and managed to completely blow out everything in there, so that's cleared him out. Next target spotted, Tiger 2P. One into the side of his turret, didn't manage to hit the ammo. And the next round again into the side of the turret, but this time slightly lower, so that the HE effect causes some damage down through the hull and takes out those frontal crew as well. Something that makes the Type-60 a bit more enjoyable and sort of playable is the fact that you have those two guns, so if your first shot doesn't kill, you get a nice quick follow-up to do the job, or even if just your first shot doesn't cripple or doesn't hit, you get a second chance. At the same time, that makes fighting the Type-60 a bit more of a pain as well, though, because you know that they have that second chance. It doesn't matter if they make a mess of it, you're not safe. Just try to see if I can squeeze some shots through. Here again you can see the disadvantage of having your scope down the middle of the two barrels. Normally I would have been able to shoot through that little window, but I'm not used to sort of the range that it converges yet. Another, of course, advantage of the double barrels is that if you do manage to get that kill in the first shot, you can fire at a different target afterwards and pick up a nice double kill very quickly like that. So that's 2 down in a matter of seconds. Now, unfortunately, I hadn't noticed earlier at the time during this game that the guy who was originally behind me got picked off by a Lorraine. And I'm just about to find out where from. So I can see where the smoke is for where the shot came from. Point my scope over there, hit the scouting button just to keep some idea where he is. And I probably wouldn't normally try and shoot at this range with such little ammo left, but I was tracked, and if I didn't take him out I was as good as dead anyway. But I've now got 1 round left and there's a PT-76 coming. Something did just shoot at me from behind, which I again failed to notice during the game. I was so focused on this PT-76. Now my intent was to drive around behind him, but there is someone coming. So I backed up with the intent of looking through a window, see where he is. He ends up popping out behind me, I spin around, hit the fire button, he misses and machine guns me because I fired from the wrong barrel. If you remember, I've only got 1 ammo left and it's in the second gun. And I just wish I'd mashed both the fire buttons, but I completely forgot and just pressed fire, and it was too late. By the time I'd realised the mistake, it was too late. And that made me so upset at the time. But we're on to clip 3, so let's not dwell on that for too long. This is, as you can see, a Maginot Line. It is Conquest. And although this isn't exactly a great map for this tank, given again the lack of ammunition, meaning I can't really take a lot of long range sort of guess shots, I need to make every ammo count. But I've brought it anyway, and I'm currently just playing as a scout. I'm sitting. I wanted to push up the right flank here, but I've seen already a BMP going down that way, so I'm a bit reluctant to push up right now. Did decide to try and take a couple of guess shots here. Didn't end up hitting anything. And decided that that's probably all I can afford. I don't have ammo to spare, so we'll leave that and we'll start trying to keep an eye on where this BMP's gone. I need to make sure he doesn't come around the side. I can't push up, so I'm essentially flank defense and scout. That's my current role in this game. But there is the BMP taking an extremely wide flank. He's a hull breakable vehicle, so one shot is almost guaranteed to take him out, and thankfully in this case does. Now, as far as I'm aware, that's everything that's around here. It's everything I saw go this way, so I'm pushing up, using the ridge lines, using the defilage just to try and keep myself hidden, and we'll see what else we can find. As it happens, not very much actually. So slowly advancing, I'm now getting into a sort of flanking position on the cap. I've spotted an IS-4, so we'll tag him up for the team. And there's something firing on the cap, but I don't have an angle on it from here. I still need to move up further. Just give it a quick double check with the binoculars before I go. There is something there. That's a IU-251. And also an Object 120, who had been seen earlier on in the game, but I had completely forgotten about, so it's quite lucky. The IU isn't looking exactly at me, and I'm a fairly small profile, so just peek, take a shot again, hull break. Gives me a nice, quick, clean kill, and I'm going to take the chance to move up, hoping that that's all that was here. We have got reasonable map control as the game is going, just don't have that cap. And there's still something on it that needs clearing. If I can get up this flank, I'll have a nice shot into his rear or side armour at least. And we can hopefully clear that cap out and get rid of him. Even with tickets aside, it would be nice to have control of the cap just for rearming purposes. So, take a peek. There he is, he's just peeking out from behind the bunker. IS-3. Line up the shot. And right into the back of his turret where the ammo is. So that's IS-3 down. The IS-4 is still sat over there. And there's also a Tiger 2. Poke up, we're going to range find. I don't really have ammo to spare again. 500. I was already aiming at that distance, so managed to get a good guess on it. And one shot in, he's clearly missing some crew. Finish him off, and well, the IS-4, that's a bit less of a sensible attempt, really. He's got a lot tougher side armour. The chance I'm going to actually take him out is pretty slim. In the end, I decided to go for we'll give him one round. He's backing up, so we'll aim a bit behind him. Remember, these shells aren't the quickest. Stopped moving at the exact moment I fired, and I ended up hitting right on the rear of him, getting his track. Perhaps it might have killed him if it had landed sort of towards the front of the tank. I doubt it. He's still alive, but he does have someone behind him, and we are running out of time, so I'm going to make a rush for that capture point. Get in there, get it down, get some ammo back. Hopefully that IS-4 is being dealt with. At the very least occupied, so he's not going to shoot me on the way in. Now, unfortunately, another quirk of this whole twin gun setup, it being effectively two different guns and not a twin barrel, is that when you come to refill your ammunition, it puts it all into one barrel first. So the primary one, or in this case I believe the right one, I think we said. That will fill up first, that'll go up to 5 ammo, then the other one will start filling up. That's a real pain really, because obviously one of your best assets is the ability to fire 2 shots in quick succession like that, obviously hopefully more effectively than that. But you can't do that if all your ammo is in one gun. So it would be nice if it sort of filled up, alternating, giving one to the right, then one to the left, for instance. But that's me starting to get some ammo back. We have the cap, and we're starting to thin out the numbers. So skip ahead a bit. I've pushed up from the cap. Sitting on it would obviously be the best way ultimately to defend it, but my team is pressing forwards. I'm going to try and give them some support, give some scouting, and hopefully a bit more accuracy than that. That was some rather terrible shots on the Tiger 2. I've noticed an IS-6 creeping through the centre, so we put a mark on him. I can't see him, and I couldn't really decide what to do here. I don't want to leave this Tiger 2 up over the hill from me, but that IS-6 could potentially shoot me in the back. In the end I decided to go for the Tiger 2. He's not looking at me, so one at his breach, and then try and go for the side, just skipping the shell down that side plate. It was a bit too angled. It's already half of my brand new ammunition expelled. Thankfully, it is all free on the Type-60. It's all stock ammunition, both the HESH and the heat, so none of it costs a thing. And if I really want, I could sit on my cap point and just fire it off endlessly into the sky. IS-6 has actually managed to creep his way towards the cap. So one round into the side of him there. He's low on crew, so that's him down. And let's get back down there and pick up some more ammo, because I am once more down to just 4, and a bit lopsided with 3 of it being in the second barrel and only 1 in the primary. Don't want to repeat of that Berlin game. Dying to another PT-76 in similar circumstances would not make me a happy bunny. So, tuck in. Added benefit, of course, is that I'm now blocking the cap, and nobody can come and take it off us sneakily. Let's just sit and wait for the ammo. Keep my eye out over the top of this building, and hopefully we've got the game nicely recovered and in the bag. Again, you can see the ammunition filling up. I'm now full on the first barrel, and the second one is sort of playing catch up. Now, ultimately, I'm not really sure why I chose to leave that building. It's certainly the safer one, and come to this little building here, but I did notice a leopard driving back to the cab. So I'm just working my way out, getting ready, just waiting for that perfect opportunity. But that's pretty much game over, so as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed. And unfortunately, here comes a panther. I was just a little off with my first shot. Nice double KO to end the video. But on that note, I will see you next time.